Counter punch boxing talk. I can talk again. My God, that was torture. I've been unable to speak for like, I don't know, 10 or 11 days. I put out a couple of videos in between, but immediately after the video, my voice completely gone. I've had laryngitis for like, I don't know, man, 10 or 11 days. And I got to tell you, it's pretty much like, honestly, I'd rather have the flu. I'd rather like fucking break an arm or anything. I mean, it's just a horrible thing to have because you cannot talk. Like literally, I went through a drive-through the other night and I forgot that I couldn't, actually vocalize my order. The chick comes on the intercom and she's like, what would you welcome, blah blah blah, what would you want or what would you like to eat? And I couldn't tell her. I'm just like, it's like this hissing sound coming out of my throat, so I'm excited. I got my voice back. Actually, by the way, I pulled up around to the window and I like showed her like the number 4 with my hand, like I want a number 4, and then she was like, well, what do you want to drink? And I'm like, you fucking kidding me? I can't talk, and like, like she couldn't catch on to the fact that I can't speak. So, I just kind of just shook my head like, whatever, just whatever. Just give me some goddamn food. Shit. So anyway, all right, look, I'm excited. I have a ton of things to cover. I'm gonna put out a lot of quick videos over the next few days. But right now, get that notification off there. Right now, I have an update for the Danny Garcia Keith Thurman fight. Let me get a little slideshow going for you guys. All right. There we go. Boom. Danny Garcia Keith Thurman. Okay. So, rumor has it now, and I'm pretty sure. This is going to happen. On the undercard, I think we're going to have Andre Berto and Chris Algieri. Now, what do you guys think about that? I mean, look, I'm okay with it. I mean, I think they both pretty much suck at this point. And, they're gatekeepers, maybe, I don't know, man. They're like one loss away from becoming a club fighter. Okay, so, Andre Berto, 31-4-0. He's won 3 out of his last 6. Chris Algieri, 21-3-0. He doesn't have quite as many fights, but I think they're both about equal. He's won 3 out of his last 6. So Berto, we know he's coming off a win against Victor Ortiz, but that was a bullshit fight. He lost against Mayweather. That was a paycheck. He won against Josito Lopez by TKO. Steve Upshur, unanimous decision. He won that fight. Soto Carras lost TKO. Robert Guerrero lost by unanimous decision. And then Jan Savic won. Victor Ortiz lost unanimous decision. You guys know the history, right? But and then now Chris Algieri. Okay, there's all I want to kind of add kind of a cliff note to Algieri. Algieri, like I said, 21-3-0, 3 out of 6. He's got a 33% knockout ratio. I mean, the guy has no power at all. Now, Andre Berto has, if I remember right, he has like a 70% knockout ratio. So, I mean, it's a lot better than Algieri. So I could see Berto dropping Algieri, honestly, because the reach, you got Algieri, he's got a 72-inch reach. Andre Berto has a 68.5-inch reach. So, probably not a lot of infighting. They're probably, the typical jab. And Chris Algieri, he likes to fight at out of range. He keeps that lead foot pointed, really far out, and he leans back. He fights tall. A lot of movement. The guy runs around the ring like crazy. So, like I said, I'm not mad at the fight. Especially when you have, Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman, headlining as the main event. I don't care. They could put on like some celebrity fight on the undercard and I'd still watch it, right? It's not even a pay-per-view. This fight could easily be a pay-per-view fight. And by the way, we all know Steven Espinoza. The fight is probably going to be at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, according to Steven Espinoza. So, and now Danny Garcia, well, let me back up. Chris Algieri, something I kind of want to point out, and maybe you guys can help me out with this here. Okay, 2014, Chris Algieri, he had that win over Ruslan Provodnikov. Now, I know a lot of people, kind of think that it wasn't really robbed. It could have gone either way. I had Algieri winning. Honestly, I don't think. I think Ruslan was just taking too many. I mean, his defense is to take a shot. It's like that's like Provodnikov's defense, like to take a punch in the face and say, "Hey, I can take your punch." That's my defense. So. But because of that, he lost the fight. I mean, he was just getting tagged like at will, pretty much. I mean, anytime Algieri wanted to land, he could land, and that cost Provo the fight. Uh, but let's go over his record real quick. After that, he then that kind of put him in position. He had the belt to fight Manny Pacquiao. He lost, of course, unanimous decision. One of my most favorite Pacquiao fights, or most entertaining. Not my favorite by far, but most entertaining. I love gonna let him out of the cage, and it was like perfect timing. Kellerman's over there interviewing Tim Lane. And he's like, yeah, we better let the way the guy talks, I can't stand it, and then boom, hit him, drops him. I think he dropped him like 6 times, 7 times. I don't remember, but I think only 4 was like a legit, knockdown because of that water in the corner. But anyway, moving up to Amir Khan, lost unanimous decision. Eric Bone beat him. Okay, big deal. Earl Spence beat the shit out of him, lost TKO. Earl Spence. Now, so that kind of gives you the background, but Ruslan Provodnikov, I mean, what happened to this guy? It's like, ever since that loss, really, I mean, I just don't, Ruslan 25-5-0, okay? He's lost against Matisse, Molina, Algieri, Bradley, and Herrera. It seems like any time, he is up against even a B-level fighter, he loses. So, and I really think it's coaching. I don't want to blame Freddie Roach, and I don't mean to get off subject here, but I'm telling you, I'm so freaking damn excited about being back that I can talk. I just want to talk about boxing all day long, and I just got my voice back, and I'm just overwhelmed with boxing news. So I'm trying to pass it on to you guys, all right? But anyway, Provo, anytime he is up against any kind of quality opposition, he loses. Like I just said, Matisse, Molina, Algieri, Bradley, Mauricio Herrera, right? I mean, they're wars, they're tough fights, but still, and the point I'm trying to make here, I really think it boils down to his coaching. Maybe you can't or you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Maybe that's the problem Freddie Roach is having with him or had with him. Maybe that's it, but I think Roach was like, really, concentrating on Manny Pacquiao, getting him ready for whatever fight was upcoming, and really didn't give Ruslan Provodnikov a lot of attention. Of course, Roach, he has the assistant coach. I forget the guy's name. Really cool guy. I've talked to him a couple times. Really cool guy. I think he's like maybe a little Filipino guy. I don't want to y'all just assume that, but I really think he is like a little Filipino guy, but he's a cool guy. But I know he worked with Provodnikov a lot, when Freddie Roach could not. So I think that's a lot of his problem. I think if Ruslan would get out there and find the right coach, but I also think he's taken way too many shots. So I don't know. Is he done? I don't know. But I kind of put him in that category of Chris Algieri and Andre Berto. I mean, these guys, like I said, they're just one loss away from, being like an ESPN club fighter, or, I don't know, man, like signing autographs at the mall or some shit. I just don't know. These guys need to, they need to do something. So to me, it is an important fight between Andre Berto and Chris Algieri. Especially Andre Berto. He's got, dude's got, 4 losses? I believe it's 4. I don't have his record in front of me. I think it's 4. So, I think he lost against Mayweather, Soto Cross, Guerrero, and Victor Ortiz. I think that was like fight of the year when he lost. So, yeah, I believe he has 4. But anyway, neither one of these guys can afford another loss. So, but like I said, what do you think about the fight? I mean, I'm cool with it. Like, everybody is like tripping out about it, I don't know, like they're just unhappy with it. I mean, like I said, I'm like, when you have Thurman and Garcia as the headliner, like, man, I mean, they could put like 2 little hamsters in a cage fighting. I don't care. I mean, you got Thurman Garcia, so to have Berto and Algieri, I'm cool, totally cool with that. Not a problem in the world, and I want to know what you guys think about it. Now, On another side, a cliff note, side note. January 14th, Badu Jack and James DeGale for the WBC and IBF. And by the way, the Thurman Garcia fight is for the WBA WBC unification. So January 14th, Badu Jack and James DeGale in a super middleweight unification fight for the WBC IBF. Now I've heard rumor that if James DeGale wins, he wants to drop down to middleweight and fight Golovkin. I mean, so yeah, I'm gonna put out a quick video about it, and I mean, I've I've heard a lot of rumors, so and it coming from DeGale, like he put out a statement a few nights ago, saying, hey, after I beat Badu Jack, I want to drop down and take on Gennady Golovkin, so. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, leave your comment below. Like, share, subscribe. Glad to be back. I apologize for the slight break. It's driving me crazy. So my commitment to the channel, I'm going to get at least 2 or 3 videos out a day, even if they're quick, quick little news, just a quick 2-3 minute video. Nothing wrong with that. So, all right, guys, Counterpunch Boxing, we are out.